Welcome back to Landmarks Discovered. In this episode, we'll visit the White Elephant Palm Beach. The White Elephant Palm Beach opened in 2020, and it's located in a building that originally was known as the Algomac Hotel. Built in 1923, the hotel was commissioned by Colonel E.R. Bradley, who operated the beach club across the street in what is today known as Bradley Park. And you were telling me that Marie, our director of archives, actually found some new information that previously wasn't available about the building.
Yes. So in all its history, there wasn't an architect listed in the designation report or any of the historical information that we had. But during Marie's research, she found out that the architect was Martin Luther Hampton, and he studied at Columbia University and came down to South Florida in the early 1900s.
And one of the buildings that he's also known for designing, in addition to the Algomac Hotel, is the Colony Hotel in Delray Beach.
The Algomac Hotel was the first Mediterranean Revival hotel in the town of Palm Beach. The style was popularized by Addison Meisner, and most people could only see it through the private clubs or private homes. So this is one of the first locations where it was utilized in a public space.
And prior to that, the hotel architecture was really dominated by the style that Henry Flagler introduced through the Royal Poinciana Hotel and the second iteration of the Breakers, which was a colonial Georgian revival style.
The Algomac Hotel has always been connected to Bradley Park. At its origins, it was commissioned by E.R. Bradley, and he wanted something very different than the shingle-clad northern-style beach club that was located in Bradley Park.
As one of the first Mediterranean Revival style hotels in Palm Beach, the Algomac has many of the features characteristic of the style, including an interior courtyard and arcade and interconnected balconies. It also has two incredible rooftop terraces that are part of the penthouse suites there today.
When it was built, the Algomac Hotel featured many luxury amenities, including a telephone in each room and an ensuite bathroom, and this was incredibly rare to find on the island when it was built. The hotel was meant to attract guests. Bradley built it for his clients at the beach club, and one of the things that he put in there in the lobby was actually a Western Union. So it makes you think, was it there so his clients could pay their debts from gambling? In the modernization of the hotel, they had to make some significant changes to the interior floor plan. But one of the things they were able to save was the historic fireplace.
Another change that happened during the recent restoration was the relocation of the main entrance from the interior courtyard to the East Tower. Many of residents of Palm Beach and visitors will remember for many years that that was the location of C'est Bon, the gourmet grocer. But today it's the location of the new lobby of the hotel, which made room for a new pool in the center of the courtyard.
And it's great that a pool can finally be installed because it was something that past owners of the hotel wanted to do, but never really found the right way to do it.
A couple of things that I thought were notable about this project is just the direction that Elkus Manfredi went with in the interiors. They're very modern, and they are specifically designed to really showcase the incredible art collection.
It creates such a contrast from the exterior because the exterior is very traditional Mediterranean Revival style. And when you walk inside, you're presented with this modern art and an interior specifically designed to match that. One of the things that I think is great about this rehabilitation is they really use the whole space. So there, when you walk into the courtyard, you see it bustling with life, with tables, with the pool, whereas before it was very empty.
I think it's a great use of space. I completely agree. And it really brings the action that's happening in the hotel onto the street and just creates a more lively atmosphere.
Even though the hotel has been modernized, its use has never changed. This has been a hotel for 100 years, and there's usually always been a restaurant in the hotel as well.
That's right. And I know E.R. Bradley's was located there for many years before it relocated to Clematis in West Palm Beach. And today we have Lola, which is such a great addition to all of the wonderful restaurants in Palm Beach and another connection to Nantucket.
The rehabilitation of the White Elephant Palm Beach really brought back to life a forgotten landmark.
The building itself had experienced decades of deferred maintenance, and even though all of the original architectural features were still extant, it certainly was not looking its best. So the work that Elkis Manfredi did, the architects based out of Boston who worked on the project, really helped restore this incredible landmark, which has been such a gift to the community that just builds on the success of every other project that we've seen in the area, including Bradley Park and the Royal Poinciana Plaza, and now Via Flagler. In the filming of this episode, we had the opportunity to sit down with real estate developer Steve Karp. Steve has a long history of working with historic properties and restoring them for various projects, including the original White Elephant in Nantucket.
In Nantucket, there was an old building called the Wauwinet House, and it was one of the oldest buildings in Nantucket. And I said, we should really buy this building and take a look at it and see if we can renovate it. And I think we can really make this a world-class place. It's the Triple Diamond Awards, and it's won all kinds of things. And so it's a historic renovation. And when I looked at the hotel and started thinking about what we were going to do with it originally, and I didn't realize there was no foundation underneath it. And so when we did the historic renovation of the hotel, we actually had to pick up the entire building. It's a wood frame building, and build an entirely new foundation, then drop it back on the foundation. And those are the kind of things that are kind of costly, and but have the long-term preservation of it. It's really important to do it right. You only have a chance to do it once. We have a home here, and so I would like to take a walk in the morning, and frequently I'd take a walk down here. And the Preservation Foundation did a fantastic job redoing the park. This area really changed when the bridge was built and the park was redone, and the water, and it's kind of special. There's activity going on, and I think the whole area has been changed so much in the last three years. The Royal and the redo of that has really been fantastic. Well, Ned Grace, who helped me put this deal together, and Ned was actually the one that came over to me and asked me if I'd be interested in buying the Bradley Park Hotel. And since I was kind of intrigued with the building and was familiar with it, and had spent time in the restaurant here, and knew the other restaurants were here before and things, and I said I'd love to take a look at it. And as soon as I walked in, I knew that we were very interested and we wanted to do it. And my son Doug's involved in the business and everything, so I immediately brought Doug down. And my wife Jill has a way of being able to get a great feel of fabrics and kind of the layout of rooms and things like that. And so she was intrigued and got involved in it. And when we finally got an agreement to buy it, we hired a Boston architect that we were familiar with, Elkis Manfredi. I think that we had a historic hotel from architecturally, and I think it's, if not the oldest, one of the oldest hotels in Palm Beach. And so we didn't want to continue that theme with the same color palette, and the same kind of look that people imagined in Palm Beach to be. So So it was a challenge in the beginning to try to figure out exactly what it was, but I think that having the Elkus Manfredi coming up with several different designs for us to look at, I think we didn't pick one of them. I think we combined two or three of them, and I think then when we started going to New York and looking around at the different pieces of art that we were trying to pick out, everything started to come together. But the entire building down here, it needed to be renovated from top to bottom, and we basically gutted the entire building. Every window in this building is new. Every floor is new. The walls are new. I think about 70% of the rooms that we have here are actually suites. And we have these two suites, like we're in a suite right now, and it has a great outside area, and people really enjoy being outside. Almost everywhere you go in this hotel, there's a piece of art I think we tried to figure out how the art would actually blend in with the color selection of all the materials and everything, and so there have been a lot of people that have commented on some of the art and why it's a little bit different than you normally find in a hotel in Palm Beach, but something that we think works, and we think we've gotten a very good reception about it. Elizabeth Lowry, who was kind of the chief planner and the interior design and everything, she said to us, well, I have a friend in New York who has Emily Art is the name of the company, but Emily herself, we actually went all over New York and went to different galleries and different places, and she kept bringing us different art. And she had seen in a gallery there was a young boy who had, he called it, that he did these doodles and everything, and they were each hand-drawn and individually done, and they were kind of a little bit unique. And so she retained him to do one for each bathroom, I think, in the entire hotel. And we thought that one of the important things would be to be able to have a lobby that was kind of distinct and special, and have a special entrance. And in Nantucket, I had an artist actually do an elephant as a sculpture, and so we hired him, Fred Prescott, and is his name, and he does animal sculptures and things. And so he did the white elephant for us, and we put it at the entrance to where C.C. Bourne's entrance was. A lot of the people in Nantucket that are summer with us come down to Palm Beach during the winter, and Lola has a big following, and it's amazing how many times, even now, in Lola, there are people from Nantucket that are in the restaurant or are out having a drink, and so I think being able to expand the brand into two markets like this, there are so many similarities between them. And one of the things we wanted to do was open one that would be the opposite season to Nantucket, and so Palm Beach was kind of a perfect place because we knew it. Whenever you take on the redevelopment of a historic building or building an old building in a community, it financially you're taking a great risk. The pride that you get in being able to do a historic renovation and be able to point to it and realize that what you've accomplished, and another generation and maybe a generation after that will be able to see what you did, and it'll last through the years. I think it's worth it because long term it'll be successful, and if you can keep it, it'll be successful.
Thanks for tuning in for Landmarks Discovered. In our next episode, we'll visit the most recently designated landmark hotel in Palm Beach.